There is a ghost that walks beside many of us. It's the ghost of the person we could have been if trauma had never entered our lives. It's the version of you that laughs a little louder, trusts a little easier, and dreams without a constant sense of dread. Trauma is a thief. It doesn't just steal a moment from your past. It steals the possibilities of your future. It's a silent architect that rebuilds your personality around your pain. Today, we're not just talking about what trauma is. We're talking about what it takes away from you. This isn't about dwelling on the pain, but about understanding the empty spaces it leaves behind, so we can finally begin to fill them again. Here are 5 ways trauma steals the person you could have been. Number 1, the loss of a safe world. Before the trauma, the world, for the most part, probably made sense. You could walk into a room and not immediately scan for the exits. You could hear a loud noise and not feel a jolt of panic shoot through your body. The default setting for your mind was peace, not danger. This is the world a child is meant to be born into, a world where they can believe they are safe. Trauma shatters this belief. It's like a permanent software update for your brain that you never asked for. Your brain's alarm system, the amygdala, gets stuck in the on position. It starts seeing threats everywhere, even when there are none. This isn't a choice, it's a physiological change. The part of your brain designed to keep you alive from a real, present danger can't tell the difference between a past threat and a current, harmless situation. So, the person you could have been, the one who could relax on a park bench, who could enjoy the chaos of a crowded concert, who could sleep soundly through the night, is replaced by a watchman, a soldier. You are constantly on guard duty, scanning for threats, analyzing people's tones, waiting for the other shoe to drop. This state is called hypervigilance. It's exhausting. It's a full-time job you can never clock out of. The energy that could have gone into your passions, your relationships, or your career is now spent just managing your own sense of safety. The carefree, trusting person you were is stolen, and in their place is someone who has learned that the world is not a safe place to be. You are forced to become a soldier in a war that only you can see. Number 2, a muted or amplified emotional world. Think of your emotions as a volume knob. Before trauma, you had access to the full range. You could turn it up for joy, turn it down for sadness, and find a comfortable middle ground for everyday life. You felt things, you processed them, and you moved on. Your emotions were messengers, not monsters. Trauma breaks this knob. For many, it gets stuck on maximum. A small inconvenience, like someone cutting you off in traffic, doesn't just feel annoying. It feels like a life or death threat. Your body floods with adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones. This creates reactions that seem out of proportion to the situation. You might lash out in anger or crumble into tears over something minor. People might call you too sensitive or dramatic, not understanding that your nervous system is reacting to a ghost from the past. The person you could have been, who is emotionally balanced and resilient, is gone. For others, the knob gets stuck on mute. This is called dissociation. When the pain is too much, the brain does something remarkable to protect you. It switches the feelings off. You might feel numb, empty, or disconnected from your own body, like you're watching your life in a movie. You go to a wedding and feel nothing. You get a promotion and feel nothing. The joy, the excitement, the things that make life colorful simply can't get through the fog. The person you could have been, who could feel the warmth of happiness and the healthy sting of sadness, is replaced by someone living in an emotional desert or a constant emotional storm. The beautiful middle ground where most of life is lived becomes foreign territory. Your emotional thermostat is broken, leaving you either burning hot with rage or frozen in an emotional winter. Number 3, the theft of your true self-worth. At our core, we are supposed to believe we are worthy of love, worthy of respect, worthy of a good life. This is our birthright. It's the foundation upon which we build everything else. Trauma attacks this foundation. It takes this core belief and replaces it with shame. Especially for those who experience trauma in childhood, the brain desperately tries to make sense of a senseless event. A child can't comprehend that a parent or the world can be unsafe, so their mind finds an easier explanation. It must be my fault. I am bad. I am unlovable. This belief gets lodged deep inside you. It becomes the background noise of your life. It's the voice that tells you that you're not good enough when you go for a job interview. It's the feeling that you have to earn love by being perfect, by people pleasing, by erasing your own needs. You might achieve great things, but you never feel successful because, deep down, you feel like an imposter, just waiting to be found out. The person you could have been, confident, self-assured, and able to accept love freely, is replaced by a harsh inner critic. This critic replays the trauma, not in images, but in feelings of worthlessness. It convinces you that you don't deserve happiness, so you might unknowingly sabotage it when it comes your way. You are robbed of the simple, quiet confidence of knowing your own value, independent of what anyone else thinks or what has been done to you. Trauma whispers a terrible lie until you believe it's your own voice. It was my fault. Number 4, the sabotage of healthy relationships. Humans are wired for connection. We need it like we need air and water. Healthy relationships are built on a foundation of trust and vulnerability. We have to believe that we can show someone our true selves, and they won't abandon or hurt us. Trauma obliterates this foundation. It teaches you that people can't be trusted, that intimacy is dangerous, and that vulnerability is a liability. The person you could have been, who could lean on others and form secure, loving bonds, is replaced by someone who is terrified of getting close. This terror shows up in 2 main ways. You might become fiercely independent and avoidant, pushing people away the moment they get too close. You might find flaws in everyone, end relationships prematurely, or decide it's just safer to be alone. The need for connection is still there, but the fear of being hurt is stronger. Or you might swing to the other extreme and become anxious and clinging. The fear of abandonment is so intense that you might lose yourself in a relationship, constantly seeking reassurance and unable to tolerate any distance. You might stay in unhealthy dynamics because the thought of being alone is more terrifying than the pain of the relationship itself. In both cases, trauma is in the driver's seat. It's choosing your partners. It's dictating your behavior. It's creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where your fear of being hurt or abandoned leads you to act in ways that ultimately leave you hurt and abandoned. The version of you who could love and be loved freely is lost. You build walls to keep yourself safe, only to find you've created a prison. Number 5, the shrinking of your future. Hope is about the future. Ambition is about the future. Dreams are about the future. To have these things, you need to be able to look ahead with a sense of possibility and safety. When your body and mind are stuck in survival mode, the future ceases to exist. All that matters is getting through the next minute, the next hour, the next day. Your brain, which is so focused on immediate threats, doesn't have the resources to spare for long-term planning or dreaming. The future doesn't feel like a bright, open space. It feels like a dark, dangerous forest, full of potential threats. So the person you could have been, the one who would have taken that risk, started that business, moved to that new city, or pursued that creative passion, gets put on hold indefinitely. You might find yourself stuck in a job you hate or a town you dislike, not because you want to be there, but because the familiar is less scary than the unknown. Change feels like a threat, not an opportunity. This is often called a foreshortened future, a feeling that you won't live a long life, or that there's no point in planning for a future that will probably be filled with more pain. You see your friends making 5-year plans, and you can barely think about next week. It's not laziness or a lack of ambition. It's a nervous system that has been trained to believe that the only thing that matters is surviving right now. The expansive, hopeful, risk-taking version of you is stolen, and in its place is someone whose world has become very, very small. The horizon of your life pulls in, and your world becomes a small, heavily guarded room. Looking at this list can feel heavy. It's a reminder of what was taken, but it's also a map. It shows you where the thief went. Understanding these things isn't about blaming the past. It's about empowering your present. The person you were before the trauma may be gone, and that is a loss worth grieving. But healing is not about finding that old person. It's about meeting the person you are today, the survivor, the watchman, the one with all the scars, and gently, piece by piece, building a new person altogether, a person who is not defined by what happened to them, but by how they chose to rise from it. You can learn to make your world feel safe again. You can repair your emotional thermostat. You can challenge the voice of shame. You can build healthy relationships. You can start to dream again. And you can slowly learn to experience moments of joy. It is a long road, but it is the road back to yourself. Not the self that was stolen, but a new self, a stronger one, a wiser one. If this video resonated with you, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel for more content that helps us understand ourselves better. And for the comments, I have a question for you. If you feel comfortable sharing, what is one small thing you are doing to reclaim a piece of yourself that trauma tried to steal? Your story might be the light someone else needs to see today. Thank you for watching.